What's up, y'all? I was just posting to Instagram real quick, so let me finish that. What's up, guys? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Thanks for joining today. This is my weekly chat with a Daily Refinement, Chris from a Daily Refinement. I am doing a mentorship with him. Well, let me back it up. If you are new to my channel, I am a reseller, which means that I buy, for me, I buy things from the thrift store typically or other sources and sell them on PoshMark and eBay and other places to make a profit. And then I also do data analytics. I now have 3 analytical dashboards for the reseller to help you look at your data, help you look at what is working for you, top trends, top brands, top all of that. Look at your revenue, lots of quick and easy things. Just plug your data in and all that stuff populates so you can get an idea of what's happening in your business and how you can work smarter and not harder. Those are for sale on Etsy. And then my YouTube and my Instagram are dedicated to helping resellers, bringing together the community. We can all learn from each other. So I do a lot of lives and then also data analytics. Most of my strategies are data driven. Either from my data, things that I find that are data-driven strategies. So not, hey, I try this and anecdotally this worked for me, but I looked at my data. This is what's working. I show you my data. I do deep dives. I look at sample data, pull data from other people. So if that is stuff that you like, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications so that you can follow along on this journey with me. Today, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. So right now, I am going live with Chris from A Daily Refinement. And why we're going live, so he started a mentorship. If you do not follow Chris Daily Refinement, head over to his channel. His link should be down below. I think I put it in there. I should have put it in there. If not, just Daily Refinement. Look him up. He is an amazing resource in the community. Lots of really good information. So definitely follow him. But he was looking to do a mentorship, and I am going to be doing a month-long. Oh, he just sent me a message. He's joining, so he's coming. We are going to be doing a month-long a year-long journey mentorship with him to get me to $1,000 net a week reselling in under 20 hours. Because I do social media, I'm also a mom of 3. I do social media and I do the dashboard. My reselling activities are under 20 hours, and I really would like to get to that $1,000 net a month or net a week. And so we are doing a mentorship together to get me there. We go live on his channel as well, but I have him over here to share with my followers things that I'm learning, deeper questions that I have, and all of that. So he said he is joining. He's finding the link that I sent him. So let me check in with people. What's up, Gabe? Thanks for joining. Right Dreamer, hello. My husband is here. I can't say his name. If you guys follow me, he has a weird Japanese anime name that I can't say. What's up, Jacob? Thanks for joining. So I just learned you can do this. Look at that. Do you have a Google spreadsheet available to keep track of your inventory and sales? So I do. So, and I actually think I'm going to give it away for free. I just released my 3rd dashboard. The first 2 are primarily for PoshMark, copy and paste from PoshMark, and all of the metrics populate. They're all on Etsy, videos on my YouTube. But my 3rd one is for all platforms. So you track your inventory, you track your sales in an import spreadsheet, and then that will go into the dashboard and all of those metrics will upload. I think it's on my agenda of things to do that I will release the tracking, the import file that you don't have to use the dashboard. You don't have to have the data, but just a way for you to keep track of what you're listing and what you're selling, and kind of just keep everything organized. And then if you do decide to have the dashboard, you have all of your data right there for you. So yes, great question. Make sure, Right Dreamer, to follow me on Instagram and then also follow me here on YouTube, because when I do make that available, I will post it there. It's not necessarily that I don't want to make it available. It's more that I am a busy mom of 3 and finding the time to put it all together and get it available. So I definitely would do that. Make sure to follow me. What is up, Nina? So I am just waiting Oh, hold on. Sorry, just texting him now. So yeah. Okay, so I am doing, like I said, I am doing a mentorship with Chris, and while we wait for him to get on, today I'm going to talk about a virtual assistant. And the reason that I'm talking about that is last week, I meet on his channel once a week, and he gives, we kind of go over my week and things that worked and things that didn't work, and then we talk about kind of a task for the week. And my task for the week and things that we talked about was a virtual assistant. And so after here, we are heading to his channel, and we'll follow that up and get my new task. So definitely make sure to head over there when this one wraps up. But I wanted to talk a little bit about a virtual assistant. We'll talk to him about it as well. I currently have a lister, which I guess is a virtual assistant. And she kind of helps me here and there. And I'm a very big proponent of outsourcing, essentially, like, especially if you're a business. We are a business as resellers. You're trying to do a whole business, and you are trying to encompass everything that it takes to be a business. You are the CEO, you are the accounting, you're the sourcing, you are the marketing. If you're on social media, you are, all of these things. And you're not experts in it, nor do you have time to do all of it. So I definitely, I'm a big proponent for outsourcing things that you're not good at, things that my husband, I don't know if you can hear the background noise. My kids are trying to get in, and my husband said he's failing at kid patrol. So I'm a big proponent of outsourcing if you need to. I do use a virtual assistant because I don't like the listing process. I think it's very time consuming, and I'm really not very good at it. I don't like I know about SEOs, but I don't like looking up SEOs. And so something that me and Chris were talking about is, outsourcing, finding a virtual assistant. And if you're going to be taking it to the next level, there is only so much time in the day. So I'm going to check in with the chat and see, do you guys use a virtual assistant? Do you outsource anything else? I'm going to say I'm a housewife, but I'm really not very good at it. I hate cooking. And right now we don't have it, but we have someone who comes and cleans the house. So that is something, part of my job, not my reselling job, but part of my, stay-at-home mom housewife job that I outsource. So let me know in the comments, and then also down below if you're watching this in a recording. I'm going to check in with Chris and make sure everything's going okay. He said he should be joining, so. This is the wonderful world of lives. Sometimes there's technical difficulties. He said the Zoom is messing with his StreamYard, so he's not able to get on. So so we're talking about outsourcing, talking about using a VA. I use a lister. It is a person that I use. So he's trying to figure it out. Hopefully he'll join us today. Rosalind Witherspoon says, I use Simple Posture as a VA. I haven't heard of them. Are they like a local company, or like a company in the US, or is it somewhere outside? I know a lot of times people will outsource using Upwork, I think it's called, to get people outside of the country. And I'd consider that because it's significantly cheaper. However, then you have the issue of an IP address and training them. I was lucky enough on Instagram, being on Instagram and social media, I was just chatting with a lady. There he is. Aldo, Chris is here. He can share all his knowledge with us. So what's up, Lesley? We are talking about virtual assistants. So thanks for joining. I wanted to talk, but actually before we do that, I do have a question for you, and I think everyone really will be intrigued. Everybody wants to know. You said you're watching Gilmore Girls. But you only do one show a day, or one show a day, a week.
One show a day. It's taking a while.
Yeah, so that would take forever with Gilmore Girls. So you may not know all of them. Do you know all of her boyfriends yet?
I'm already where Luke is her boyfriend. So I think he's the last one, from spoiler alerts. I think. So
yeah, and but what about Rory's boyfriend?
I'm to Logan.
Oh, okay. So you do know all of them. So I need to know, we all need to know, are you team Logan or team, what is it? Logan, Jesse, And what's Dean?
I like Logan so far.
I like Logan too, but it's mostly just because I think he's really cute.
Yeah,
sure
that's an important factor. So I can see that.
Yeah, no, okay. So I thought we would take you a little bit out of your eBay reseller realm and get to know you as a person. Everyone loves Gilmore Girls. I think I went through it in like 2 weeks because I love to binge watch. So Lesley says she is Team Logan too. So we are talking about virtual assistants. My task from you last week was to find a virtual assistant. And after this, we will head over to your channel and talk about how that went and all of that. But I think it's important to kind of go over, and I want to share with my followers about the virtual assistant. So I want you to kind of tell us why you think having a virtual assistant is important and when you think you probably would need one.
Well, I think that you only have so many hours a week you can work on your business. So as soon as you can start delegating.
Oh, it's hard. Hold on. If there's like feedback. Is there feedback for other people?
I can hear a little feedback.
Yeah, let me try my headphones. Oh, that's good. Is that better?
It's way better. I don't know if you're
I put headphones in. I was having this issue the other day too.
Okay, that's great. Let us know in the chat if it sounds better now, but it sounds good.
There's a white noise. Let me mute you and see if it's you or me. Sorry. I think it's you.
No, the white noise went away from you.
I can't hear you. There's a white noise and hard to hear you. That's better. Yeah.
Better. Okay, wow.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we'll get there. This is the thing with lives. We're there.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. I should have tested this before. I don't know. It's funky, but so okay. Why do you want a virtual assistant? Hopefully, people can hear better now.
Yes, yeah, it's better.
Okay, so you only have so many hours in a week. So when you start writing down what it is that you do, whether it's like housework or it's invoicing or listing or bookkeeping, once you have all your tasks down, you can start outsourcing them to other people. And that's really important. So many people just they never write anything down, and they're just so good at doing it that no one ever can help them. But once you start writing it down and outsourcing it to other people, you'll never want to go back. Once you start having other people help you, you can focus on just the things that you like to do. Let's say maybe you only like shopping, and you can have help virtual assistant wise as far as listing. I would say that having listing help is the biggest thing you can do for your business because it's tedious, and also it's the hardest to find someone that's reliable. So what I would recommend people do is find somebody reliable and then teach them how to do it.
Oh, that's smart.
If people say, I've been doing it for years or whatever, that doesn't really matter. It's just that, are they going to show up on time? Are they going to have a good attitude? Are they willing to learn? Then you can show them how to do it because it's not that hard. I mean, literally, you can list an item the first time you try. Like, it's not rocket science. So if people are willing to learn, they're detail oriented and they're reliable, timely, those are big things.
Yeah, and I think detail oriented and willing to learn goes into it because you have to learn about SEOs a little bit. And if you're not familiar with it, like I'll talk about it to my husband and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you could watch a couple of videos, do a little bit of research. It's definitely something that's easily learnable if you're willing to do it. And showing up is absolutely important. The girl that I have is very reliable, which is why I didn't want to veer away from her.
And I'll give you the top example. There's a gentleman I follow. His name is Paul Akers. He has a machine at his work that costs like 300 grand. It's a heavy precision machine. And he tested his instructions by getting somebody off the street with no experience and saying, okay, do the job with these instructions. And they were able to do it with zero experience. That's how you need to dumb down your process so people can actually help you. If you have to show them how to do it every step of the way, you didn't actually gain any time back. That's what
Yes.
I'm really, really, really like obsessed with this advice that I got. That was, Chris, if you don't have employees that you don't have to worry about, then you don't really have employees. You're just
Babysitting.
babysitting. And then
Yes.
you could be doing it yourself and not have to pay that person.
Right. And I agree with that. And that's, you had mentioned when we chatted last week on your channel about like outsourcing to other countries and how much harder it may be to train them, and then you're spending time. And that's kind of something that I was deciding whether I wanted to go with the girl that I had, who maybe is a little bit more expensive, or spending the time, but she is good at what she does. And she knows more than I do half the time. She's like, hey, have you done this? And I was like, no, that's a great idea. So I'm paying for expertise as well, as her already knowing and not having to spend hours and hours to train someone new. However, not everybody is going to be that lucky to find someone like that. So let's talk about you're in the position, you're working all these hours, you're up too late, you've made a list of things you want to outsource and look for a VA. Where do you start? How do you start this process?
Okay, so let's say that, like in the example of you figured out it's a minute to photo, or I'm sorry, 2 minutes to photograph an item, and then listing the first part of it takes, let's say, 2.5 minutes. So I have been testing this week this exact process because, as most of you guys know, I use the service called Cellhound, and I'm trying to not use Cellhound and give the money I give them, which is around $1.50 to $2 per item. I would rather give that to a VA. But the process is okay. The exact instructions are: open up eBay, create a listing, the exact link to create the listing. If you have employee login for your staff, that you would need to show them how to log in as an employee, then how to open up a listing, how to add the photographs, how to build the title, how to fill out the item specifics, how to fill out the description, how to fill in how you ship, your return policy. If you use promoted listings, are you going to add that? How do they research the
Step by step.
price,
Yeah.
right? Then once that's done, if you want to also cross list on Poshmark and Mercari at the same time, you can actually. For the first time ever, I met a big seller that lists on Poshmark first. So she knows that Poshmark to eBay is 3 minutes slower than from eBay to Poshmark, but she just likes that. She just likes Poshmark more. So it's more complicated, but it's like,
Yeah, because you can't have as many pictures. There's more fields.
yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. That's like the first person I've heard that
yeah,
does
me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Because you would normally not do that, but if you're listing less than 100 items a week, then I don't really have a huge issue with that, because that's a few hours more to do it that way. That's not going to destroy your business. And if you like doing it that way,
You're
go
more
for it.
willing to do it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's something that some people do. Plus, some people, you Poshmark has like a community thing. So if you are selling more on Poshmark, you get more of a community buzz and boost. So people
Yeah.
like that. So she almost wants it to sell on Poshmark first. So she's putting the effort there.
Oh, before
So
she puts it on.
yeah,
That's interesting. And I wonder why, so I have more sales on Posh than I have on eBay. And I wonder if I was doing Posh first and then eBay as I was cross posting. I wonder if that had something to do with it for me as well. So you write out a listing and you want to figure out, step by step, almost like instructions for a second grader, someone, step by step as you do
yeah,
it. But then how do you find a VA? I
yeah.
found my girl just chatting with someone on Instagram. But if you don't have that connection, how do you go about finding a VA?
Great question. So there's a Reddit forum called #TeachMeLikeI'm5. That forum goes over like how you teach a 5-year-old how to do something, which is like literal.
Yeah.
There's no like no creativity, exactly what to do, steps A to B or A to Z. Once you have that, you're going to go to upwork.com or onlinejobs.ph or any of the sites that have workers on them. If you're looking for somebody outside the US, this is where you should go. And typical rates for a VA are going to be between $4 and $8 an hour for a college grad. You can get someone with a master's degree for $8 an hour. That's really gonna work hard and know more about business than you do. The
Yeah.
one thing that they're not gonna know is clothing styles. So what I would do is I would create Pinterestable guides, like link all the different skirt shapes, jean shapes,
Oh, yeah.
teach them so they can become familiar with that, because they're like, a degree in mathematics or degree in engineering. They don't have the clothing background, but they can learn it. You just have to be patient while you teach them how to do it. And again, it's not that hard, but you do have to invest a couple of weeks of time into that person to get them used to entering in the right item specifics.
So how do these, because I've done, I don't remember what it was called. I did one of those once and it didn't work out, and I haven't done anything like hiring someone for something and it didn't work out. But how does it, like, are you payment wise and guaranteed work and making sure they're working, and like how does all of that work? And we'll do like Upwork, imagining that they're all around the same.
So Upwork is they have to record their screen. Okay, so when they're working, it's actually recorded on Upwork. So if you want to review it and see what they're doing with your time, if you pay hourly, then you can go in and watch them physically do that. I recommend doing that anyway in the beginning because you want to help them develop the right habits. Ideally, what you would do is upload a video of you doing it, screen share how you do it, then
Yeah.
have them just copy exactly how you're doing it. Once you post the ad, people will apply. And then do a test. Say, okay, let's do 10 listings. It'll record the screen. I'll watch you do 10 listings, and then we'll keep doing it. So my current VA, we started with one listing. He did one listing. I reviewed it. Then it went to 2. Then it went to 5. Now he does between 80 and 100 a day. Okay, but it's slowly you work them up and then you approve them. I tried a new person today. I said, please send me a message when you're done with 50. And that happened last night. So today I went through, reviewed the work. This VA really loved it, but they didn't like the photo process. They told me, I did the work for you, but I hate the way that the photos came through. So I have to adjust it so the photos are in a better order. They want a blank photo in between each one. And everyone has a little bit of a different workflow. So you may find people work certain ways. For me, photos, and then also the fact that I wanted the photos edited before being put on, we didn't have a good process for the photo editing.
Oh, so you're paying them to edit it.
Yeah, so that was what I want, because ideally I want my store to look the same. So you have to work with people who have different computers, people have different internet connections. You have to really figure out what's going on. But the thing is, once you set it all up, you don't have to list anymore.
Yes.
So,
right.
yeah.
And it's worth the investment. So, and I want to talk about, because a lot of people, I have a wide range of sellers that follow me. At what point, like monetarily almost, because you're spending money. So is there like a certain monetary like goal that you're getting to that you're like, okay, it's probably, because if you're spending $200 for someone to list for you and you're only making $100, like that's not worth it. So from a money standpoint, how do you kind of know, how do you decide when is good, or other ways to decide so that you're not losing money?
So you should never lose money hiring a VA, because unless you're not productive with the time that you would be using to do it. So as an example, when the listing process, each time I hire a VA, I gain like 6 minutes back for every listing or something like that. So let's just say I buy 10 hours of a VA's time for $50. During that 10 hours, I can make $2,000. So that, or let's just say $50 an hour. During the 10 hours you hire them, you can make $500. Their $50 charge should be lower. What you should not do is hire a VA to work instead of you. I think people are trying to, like, they're not productive with the time that they're using outside of the VA. They think they can just replace themselves. It doesn't work like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, you have to be working. You'll see a lot of people who get obsessed with the gross number, like, wow, this person is doing a lot of revenue, right? And they don't understand that.
How much they're actually taking home from that number.
No, but here's the two things that are true with that. One, they take home usually way more than you think, but it's way smaller of a percentage than you think.
Yeah.
There's no one that I've never met a single person that makes 200 grand a year, 100% solo reselling ever. But I've met tons of people who make 500K and above and still have kids. So it just depends on how you organize your day, what you're working on. The people who are making 500K and over have never source. They're just business. They're just I call them like architects. They're just like putting the pieces in, and then it works. So if you are worried about losing money when you hire a VA, you're not there yet. You need to be doing it yourself. So it's obvious.
That you could.
It's obvious that you make more money than you're spending for that. If you're worried like, oh, I'm going to make more money doing it myself, you're not in the right mindset to hire someone. It should be painfully obvious.
And I agree with you. I think you hit the nail on the head. If you're hiring someone and then you're not replacing that hour with things that you can be making money on. And when I hired a lister, it was, I can't get all of these. If I pay someone to list for me, I can list double the amount of inventory.
That's right.
And then I can make more money. And so, I mean, you pay $1.50. And then also for me, I aim for like a higher average sale price. And so I felt a little bit more comfortable. Okay, I'll give $1 away on it. I'll lose $1 on each item. If I was selling items for like $10 an item, I think I might be a little bit more weary, but like you'd have to figure it out. That's not the place that I'm at. But that made me feel a little bit more comfortable because the items I was selling are higher. And I was able to double what I was listing since having them.
Let me give one more example because I'm like passionate about this topic. There's a book called Made in America, Sam Walton's book. Sam Walton made $100 billion in his life after tax. Okay, so if you want to listen to someone who knows what they're doing, it's him. Okay, he made more money than any other person selling stuff ever. Okay, maybe except for maybe Jeff Bezos. So that being said, what he did was he only cares about net. Okay, so as an example, let's say you've been reselling for a while and you make $1,000 a month net. When you hire someone, let's say that the $1,000 net, to make it easy, was 100 items. If you hire someone and you can now list 200 items, right? Do you net 1,500 instead of 1,000? If you did all the work yourself, maybe you would make 2,000. But if you paid that VA $500, you would make $500 more than you normally did. So Walmart is the king of low prices. In fact, people make fun of Walmart. They're like, "Oh, I don't want to be Walmart," which is weird because
if
you don't want to, like, that guy had more leisure time than anyone and still made $100 billion net. I think people are confusing. They say they don't want to be Walmart because and they don't.
It's a prestige thing, I think. People want the label and they want to be like, Walmart is kind of trashy. You know what I mean? Like it's more about the label, I think, but I'm with you. Like, I just want money.
no, but the thing is, like, I don't know the people who have a small boutique of high-end items are almost always broke. So you shouldn't copy people who are always broke. Like if you're into luxury items, you need to have money to pay for them.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's interesting looking at that. But yeah, that's the Walmart model where you think about, okay, if I lower my price, will I make more net money? It's not about undercutting people. It's about making the most money overall.
And it's funny, not funny, but after we had this conversation last week and talking about like paying my lister to do more, I got off the call and did all of the math to see how much I would have to make after, because now I'm paying her more. I'm like, okay, so how many more am I going to have to sell? And how many listings will I be able to have now in my sell-through rate? Like now I'm going to have 1,400 listings in 2 months. And if I keep the sell-through rate the same, I'm going to be selling more. And so then my net will be more. I figured out the exact number. I don't remember what it was, but I figured out the exact number that I need to get to make that $1,000 because I am paying someone. So I have to sell so many items to pay for that. And then on top as well. Amber Resell says, this makes me think of the book 4-Hour Workweek, which I haven't read. Have you heard of that? Or
I've read it like 10 times. Awesome. It's such an awesome, because it helps you understand that the limiting belief that making a lot of money requires a lot of work. Like, it requires a lot of work to set up the person that helps you. That's it. If you don't have systems, this is why, like, I was getting mad at you for not writing stuff down, because it makes it so people can't help you.
Yeah, right.
But it's awesome. But like in 4-Hour Workweek, he's like, if you can't take a 2-month vacation, then you don't have a business. You're just a slave to whatever you created. Like, what's the point of What's the point of working this hard if you can't ever walk away from it? At least at a job, you can literally take your 2 weeks vacation a year. But if you look at resellers, some of them haven't taken a vacation in 10 years. They just
Yes.
keep grinding.
And that's something I see on my Instagram pretty often. I came from corporate America at one point. And I mean, people get down on working for the man, and it's so nice to like have your own business. But like I left at 5 o'clock and I didn't think about it until I went the next day. And I had like 8 weeks where I got paid to not work. Like that's glorious. If I can get to that point, it's going to be slower growth for me because I also am a mom of 3 kids, and now we're in quarantine, so they're not even in school. But that's kind of where I'm at, is getting to that point where I can take time off and I'm not always stressed about it. And I'll say already, and we'll head over to your channel after this and talk about it a little bit more, but already having her do all of the listings, I was cross-posting too, and I've gone to where she's doing all of the listings. It's like a huge weight is lifted off of me. I'm listing more. I'm actually like enjoying my kids a little bit now because I'm not always trying to get things done. So definitely follow Chris on Daily Refinement. He knows what he's talking about. Gabe is asking, have you guys thought about hiring people to be pickers? And I know Chris does, and we have talked about that for me as well. I think we'll probably chat about it on his live. We're going to his live after this. That was kind of one of my assignments as well. So we'll chat about that for me, but I'll let Chris talk about that.
That is a great topic. So we'll talk about that on my channel. And then everyone, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for having me, Sarah. Technical difficulties, I apologize. Next week, it'll be a lot smoother.
No worries. If you need to pop off and head over to your channel, I will meet you over there in a few minutes.
Okay.
We are headed over to a Daily Refinement to talk about my task for this week and how things went for me this week, and set up a new goal for next week. The whole thing of this, if you missed the beginning, I am doing a mentorship with Chris, a Daily Refinement, to get me to make $1,000 net a week in 20 hours or less. So this is our journey. We are going between my live and his live. So definitely head over to his channel. We will be talking about what I did this week and what I will be doing my task for the following week to get me to that goal. Definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up on your way out. If you are watching this in the recording, give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions about a VA for Chris or for me as well. I do use one, but I don't have the knowledge that he does. I did want to know, and we didn't get to this, but part of paying a VA, you have to worry about taxes. So definitely talk to your CPA about that as well and how it works. My VA bills through PayPal as a service, and as long as she gets a 1099 from PayPal, my CPA said that was fine. So that is also something that you need to consider when you start outsourcing and paying people and having employees as well, is thinking about the tax implications of that. So I just wanted to note that I'm popping off here to head over to Chris's channel. So I hope everyone has a good night, and I see you over on Chris's channel or later in the week. I am also doing a monthly Monday, weekly. Every week, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard is a accountability check-in for resellers. Anybody can join on the video chat. They just have to send me a DM, and then always welcome in the comments as well. Keep each other accountable, talk about our successes and what our goals are for the week. So have a good night.